So the Eagles practice squad is set. Now, we get a few new faces. We get some guys I really wanted back. But I gotta say this. Congratulations to the Dallas Cowboys on finally finding your franchise quarterback.
Kick the red, double move on the red.
Come on, what is taking this thing so long to start recording? I'm all out of whiskey, cause I lost my Trubisky. Yeah, I know Philly was right to say that the Bears still stink. Oh, hurry up. Bad dog is a mad dog, cause he knows the Giants always stink. They trade Odell Beckham, draft Daniel Jones. He works for NASA. Please feed on YouTube. He's got 6 toes. And he watches Breaking Bad. Oh, come off it. You seriously still waiting? The entertainer knows that dolphin love is taboo. The entertainer knows his hammer makes it true. Oh, now it's starting. Everybody doing? King Ding back here? Who knew? I don't know how long that was recording. Hopefully not long at all. Let's hope. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're enjoying your 3-day weekend. Me, I'm okay. I meant to have this out earlier. I just haven't been able to get to it. I had a long night last night, like 3:30, 4 in the morning of just conspiracy stuff. It was like 8-9 hours of reading NASA documents, CIA documents, all sorts of crazy stuff. It was awesome. I love it. But I wanted to do this video today because the Eagles have their practice squad set, and I want to talk a little bit about it. I want to talk a little bit about some other things going on. And the first thing I want to talk about is the NFC East musical chairs. The NFC East is having musical chairs with some of these guys from the NFC going to other teams. Let's start with Kyle Lauletta, the quarterback for the Giants. Remember Giant fans saying he was the future, he was the guy. They didn't have to worry about getting a quarterback. He was the guy. Well, they cut him. He is coming to the Eagles, and I'll talk more about him in a second. The other guy, Wendell Smallwood's picked up by the Washington Redskins. And look, this has got to be a lot of intel. They want to know what the Eagles are doing, what their playbook, what certain things mean, so they can try to get an advantage on the Eagles week 1. And I'm sure Wendell Smallwood's going to give it to him. Redskins got 5 running backs, and we'll see how long they keep Wendell Smallwood after this game. I'm curious. But Wendell Smallwood is now a Washington Redskin. Kyle Lauletta is now a Philadelphia Eagle. Now for my favorite one of the day, okay? My favorite, the Dallas Cowboys finally got their franchise quarterback. The Cowboys jump all over Clayton Thorson, who stinks. He stinks. And he stunk for us in preseason. And they can have him. They can marry him. They can do whatever they want with him. They can have him. You want him? You can have him. Go ahead, Dallas. Maybe you need him because after you try to sign Zeke and you can't sign Dak, you're going to need a quarterback. You're going to need a franchise quarterback. But he goes to the Dallas Cowboys, and, we're going to see what happens. Now, the Eagles do have something interesting going on. Tomorrow they're working out Chris Banjo, the special teams ace for the New Orleans Saints. He's a safety. I think he had 2 interceptions against the Eagles when we played him last year. He's very good on special teams. Safety, I think he's 29 years old. He just signed a 3-year extension back in March with the Saints. I don't think he had a great preseason. He's coming in for a visit, and it's going to be interesting to see what the Eagles do with him if they sign him. Because, look, this team loves guys that can play special teams. We have a lot of really good special teams guys. We should have like the best special teams in the National Football League. I'm not even kidding you. I mean, you look at Darren Sproles. You look at Matt Collins, Corey Clement, LJ Ford. These guys can all play, and I know I'm missing guys. And he's another special teams ace. So if the Eagles sign him, would they cut Cyprien or Sendejo? I probably would think Cyprien would be gone. But we'll see. We'll see. Will the Eagles keep 5 safeties? I don't know. Ian Rappaport reported this, and he said the Eagles roster is far from done yet. So expect moves to come. But I'm cool with this. I think the guy's a good player, especially on special teams. and special teams is very, very important in the NFL. You know what? I stand corrected. The Eagles don't have 4 safeties. They have 5. I forgot all about Rudy Ford, which is going to be something interesting that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes. They got Rudy Ford, so maybe Banjo would come in and he would take over for Rudy Ford. I don't know. See, from what I heard about Rudy Ford is they really like him. He's young, and they like him as a special teams guy. So I don't know who they will replace. It's possible that it could be Cyprian, but it could be Rudy Ford too. So we'll have to wait and see what they're going to do with this kid Banjo. It's going to be interesting. Now, as far as the Eagles practice squad goes, there is a few names that came back that I'm very, very happy about. Very, very happy about, okay? But the first guy we have to talk about is Kyle Lauletta. Kyle Lauletta, we know from the Giants, okay? He was going to be their guy, and then they went out, they got Daniel Jones. I guess he became expendable. Look, he got 6'3", 220. I think he's 24 years old. He moves good. He's got a nice arm, and I think he's got definite skills in the NFL. Now, he's not coming in on the active roster. The Eagles only have 3 quarterbacks on the active roster. He is coming in to be on the practice squad. He is going to be tutored and learned how to play the quarterback position by Doug Peterson and the coaches. That's why I like this move, because he has skill and they feel like they can work with him. I think that after Thorson, they came in and they saw what they had to work with, I think they were like, forget this. Lauletta is definitely better. He's raw and he needs that development. And I think a year on the Eagles practice squad, you may see the same situation with a Sudfeld, because eventually Sudfeld's going to become a free agent, hopefully get a chance somewhere. That's his hope. Maybe you develop Lauletta and then let him be Carson's backup. So I don't know. I like the move. I like bringing him in. It was a good move. So Lauletta is going to be on the practice squad. The Eagles have 3 quarterbacks on the active roster. And to answer my man Mark Holmes, who asked me this at the end of his video earlier today, who thought he was exposing the Eagles' fear that Carson Wentz is going to get hurt, which they're not. And he thought that they had 4 on the active roster. No. They have 3 on the active roster. They have 1 on the practice squad. He's a practice squad quarterback. He's a developmental project. That's what he is. The Eagles always have somebody they're trying to develop on the practice squad. Since Andy Reid used to do the same thing, the Eagles always are going to develop quarterbacks. That's what they do. That's what Doug Peterson does. So no, you're not exposing anything. The Eagles have full faith Carson Wentz will stay healthy. So do I. Now, for the Eagles practice squad, let's take a look at it. We talked about Kyle Lauletta. He's on the team. I think that's great. Boston Scott returns. Yes. I was worried we would lose him. I really would, because I think that this kid has special teams talent, has return talent, and to me, he could be that Darren Sproles replacement in a year or two. So he's back. I'm very glad to see it. Very happy. Wide receiver Marcus Green. Don't know a lot about him. I know he was with the Atlanta Falcons, and that's all I really know about him. But they must have seen something that they like. They're bringing him in, and we're going to see what he does. So it'll be interesting. Greg Ward returns. Man, I was so worried he was going to get picked off waivers. I really was. All I could say is thank goodness he's back. I'm really happy about it. Tight end Joshua Perkins and tight end Alex Ellis both get cut, both return, and they go to the practice squad. I still think the Eagles got to have 3 tight ends on the roster, and I expect them to do it at some point, because you need another blocking tight end. But at least in terms of having people on the practice squad, Perkins is back, Alex Ellis is back, who's shown some skill. So I really like this. So everybody that I've said so far, I think are great additions to this team, okay? Sua Opeta, the guard, don't really know much about him. Need to see more of him. I didn't really pay too much attention to him in training camp, I'm not going to lie. So, hey, they think they have something to work with. I trust them. Alex Singleton returns. Oh, that's good, because he had a lot of offers. In the CFL. He could have gone and played and start. He wanted to come back to the Eagles. I hope they paid him well to be on the practice squad. I think the minimum practice squad, so like the minimum salary on the practice squad, if I remember correctly, I believe is like $8,000 what was it, $8,000 a month or something like that. It's like $100-something-thousand a year. That's like the minimum, but teams can pay you more. It does go against your cap though. But I hope that they gave Alex Singleton a little something, because he had like 3 or 4 offers in the CFL to go and play, and he chose to come back. So shout out to Alex Singleton. I'm very happy about that. And here's one I love. Defensive tackle, and this is the last guy on the list, Bruce Hector. Bruce Hector just got traded, like 2 weeks ago, to the Cardinals for Rudy Ford, who the Eagles were really high on Rudy Ford for a while, especially his special teams ability. So he goes to the Cardinals. The Cardinals cut him, and then he comes back to the Eagles practice squad. Beautiful, Howie. That's genius. That's genius. You know what I mean? I love that. I love that move. Now, the one and the most disappointing guy not to return to practice squad, well, I have really 2. Marquand Michel, I don't know if he's even eligible. I'm not sure. But he didn't return. And this offensive tackle, Brent Toth, whatever his name was, from the Army, he gets picked up by the Cardinals. Why did the Cardinals pick him up? Everybody thought that was kind of an odd move. They need lineman help. But look, everybody must think this kid's very talented, because they jumped on it. They had first waiver priority, and they spent it on him. So, yeah, it's very interesting. But as far as the whole practice squad that we have right now, I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy we got mostly everybody I wanted back, except for Marquand Michel and Toth. Those are the 2 guys that we missed out on. But I really liked getting Bruce Hector back. I thought that was kind of sly on Howie Roseman's part. That's why I love Howie Roseman. You gotta love that crap. But yeah, the Eagles are set. I don't think they're at 53 is set. I think there's still moves to be made. We may see a safety come in. I still think another tight end may be put on this team, a blocking tight end. We're just going to have to see. But Wendell Smallwood, he's there in Washington. He's trying to give them intel. He's trying to let them know what the Eagles do right now. That's one of the reasons they picked him up. Dallas is probably trying to figure out what they can get from Thorson, who probably has no stinking idea. So who cares? You know what I mean? But it's funny. I don't see Eagles picking up any Dallas Cowboys, any Washington Redskins. Maybe because they stink. Who knows? This is pretty much the last preseason training camp video. Starting tomorrow, starting the next video, we are in the regular season. We are at week 1. Let's go. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. And don't be a dingbat.